Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our Elevate and Delegate Mastering Virtual Assistants for Success. The reason, look at this. You guys. Why don't you take a microphone when you say that you owe the company a lot? Just mach schnell.
So when I first got my assistant, I was like, I don't know how it's gonna be easy for me to communicate with this guy. I don't know. He's in the Philippines, right? It turned really great. This guy is my right hand right now. He manages everything. Sometimes I feel jealous because he gets compliments more than I do. The guy is my right hand. The guy does everything. He's a real estate specialist, assistant real estate specialist. He knows real estate. He doesn't do nothing but real estate. And he always gets the training from the best, right? So I highly recommend this company. And if you can get an assistant as good as mine, please do it. He's gonna take your business to the next level.
Yep.
Right now, I'm focusing on just like my agents instead of like doing the admin work and relying on everything else on Nico. So very grateful to this company and of course to Michael recommending me, Nico.
Yep. He's a great assistant, but you made him that. All right.
Depends on what you do, actually. You have to invest in your people too, right?
You do. Roger, thank you. So he's on staff. I have to show you people who are not on staff and people I want to give validation of how the program works. But Roger, thank you so much. Okay, so how do you master this? You hire a virtual assistant. I'm going to go into detail about how I started getting virtual assistants years ago from another company and how it turned very badly and why we created the company that we have. So go ahead, Melissa. Let's flip it. So what is a virtual assistant? First off, a virtual assistant is a remote worker who provides various services to businesses. The Philippines is loaded with virtual assistants. So roles: administrative, task management, marketing support, customer service, research assistance, data entry, and transaction coordinating. If you're using our free service that we have, EasyTC, that's in the Philippines, doesn't cost you anything to have them handle your transactions. And we have agents one of them did 52 million in 2022. That's all she uses is our free transaction coordinators in the Philippines. We're actually, hold up for just a sec, buddy. We're actually adding a service for our agents. I'm meeting with the virtual assistant. When is that happening, Melissa, for the marketing company?
It's on May 2nd.
So on May 2nd, this person would be in charge of our marketing department. So when you need flyers, they will set it up. Either they will do the flyers or they will contract it out, but they'll be handling everything. What we found is agents they don't want to integrate. They don't want to necessarily use command for that piece. So let's have somebody else do that. I want to pull as much off the agents as possible. I've always wanted to do that. That's why we created our transaction management company. So this person will also be in the Philippines and they'll do a great job. We just got to set up the program. So the benefits of the virtual assistants: strategic focus. VAs can handle administrative tasks, allowing real estate professionals to focus on high value activities, such as meeting with clients and property viewings. Expanded reach. VAs can assist in marketing, reaching a wider pool of potential buyers and sellers. And operational efficiency. VAs can streamline transaction coordination paperwork, optimizing real estate process for both clients and professionals. Any one of our virtual assistants works in tandem with EasyTC in the Philippines. And so they're learning how to do transaction work from them. And then enhanced customer service. VAs can manage inquiries and scheduling, ensuring clients receive prompt, personalized attention. Many of the people who have VAs with us, their VAs are the ones who are contacting with the clients and making sure they get quick responses, because that's not how we're wired as DIs, for those of you that have that personality type. So some common misconceptions. Only for administrative tasks. Well, many believe VAs are limited to administrative duties, but they can handle a wide range of tasks like research, social media management, and customer service. Our agents that are in commercial, we're getting them a VA for all the commercial departments. One VA will be able to handle all the data that needs to be collected when they go on a listing appointment in commercial. It's very different. What's the traffic count? How many eyeballs are going past this street from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.? They're going to be doing that kind of data work for the commercial agents. So they can do a ton. Language and cultural barriers is another misconception. Concerns about language proficiency and cultural differences may arise when hiring VAs from different regions. However, many VAs are proficient in English. Our VAs learn English from home. So they learn English before they even start school. Tagalog is the native tongue of the Philippines, but English is right there with it. And we also look for, when we hire a VA, those that are fluent in without a heavy accent. And over-reliance on VAs. This is a common misconception. Some might think that once they hire a VA, they can delegate all tasks without any further involvement. However, maintaining clear communication and providing guidance is essential for effective collaboration. When you hire a VA, you have to inspect what you expect. This is how I like it. Emily, when she goes on a listing or gets a listing, she's very specific. She is going to do accompanied showing regardless of the price of the property. That is her niche. And it's going to be very different than pretty much every other agent, but that's her competitive advantage. So relaying information to your VA, making sure they understand this is how I do my business, which is going to be different than the other people you've been hired by. So it's very important. Security risks. This was a concern for me before I got a VA. The company I had no insurance if that VA decided to take off with a lot of data, compromising our company. Some worry about entrusting sensitive information to VAs, fearing data breaches or leaks. However, VAs can sign confidentiality agreements and businesses can implement security measures like using encrypted communication channels and limiting access to sensitive data. What we do at VRA, Virtual Realty Assistance, we have $1 million policy. So we have the highest policy out there that you can get for a virtual assistant, and it's worth it to me. I want everybody to have security when you're talking to your clients. Now, availability. Contrary to the belief that VAs may only be available during specific hours, many offer flexible working hours to accommodate various time zones and business needs. We have agents that have our virtual assistants that have the VA working Saturday, Sunday, and they get Tuesday, Wednesday off. And so it's just whatever you are agreeing with the VA. Cost effectiveness. While some perceive VAs as expensive, they're not. They're extremely cost effective compared to hiring full-time employees. Businesses also save on overhead. You're not having somebody in your office. So you save a lot. A VA runs less than half what an assistant in the States would run.
What are the tasks of an agent? Not considering, of course, the 9,723 emails that you receive every morning. Just let's say one transaction. You have to select the script, memorize the script, and practice. You have to call, you have to prepare a list of prospects, call the prospect, commit with them that you will do something to follow up with them. And then you have to investigate. You have to prepare to do that something that you promised. You have to take note, prepare, and follow up, reach out to them again, and eventually follow up until you get the listing appointment. As soon as you have the listing appointment, you have to prepare the listing. You have to prepare your script, the CMA. Marketing analysis, that loop, organize information, confirm appointment, get to the appointment on time, present, explain, persuade, get the listing excited, and execute the contract. Sign on the yard, Supra, MLS, schedule photo, 3D photo plan, promote, marketing, prospect, open house, marketing, prospect, host, follow up, get an offer, negotiate, loop, meet, Maryland, inspection, negotiation, appraisal, negotiation, title commitment, coordinate closing. Don't forget the present, be on time and prepared at closing, celebrate the closing, and find out that you could have got so much more from that transaction if you had the right marketing. You could have capture some leads, and probably your seller will say like, I will have loved more communication.
Hey, let's make sure Mitch is not on this call. It's true.
So all of that, what are the solutions for all of the tasks that we have to do? There are a couple of solutions. Next slide, please. There are a couple of solutions. So you can hire an assistant in person. Of course, there is kind of time managing. You have to find assistant. You have to prepare the assistant. You have to pay an in-person assistant, which costs a good amount of money. If you don't have that much money, probably it's going to be a student that you have to prepare. And after 3 months of teaching her everything, you discover that you're just wasting your time and lots of money. You can hire a VA, and that will be fantastic because can help you from the distance, can manage many things. But that's the thing. You need to make sure that you hire the right VA that will be there for you and will help you go through the thing. Somebody that is prepared, understanding the right personality that can actually do work with you. Of course, VRA.
So for VRA, our company was founded with the idea of being able to give agents the best virtual assistants. We'll do the hard work so you can focus on the best in your business. So why I started this, I said earlier, a virtual assistant company that I was using. I liked it. I started referring them to everybody else. I was being paid referral money every month if I referred somebody, and I referred 14 out in 1 year to other agents in this office. Tanya was one of them. And this person was so hard to find for her. How bad was it?
So that was the thing. I actually started with one, and she had 5 kids. Thing is, I discovered that basically I was paying 8 hours a day, and she would take even 2 or 3 hours to answer my text. Just to reach out to her, it would take 2 to 3 hours. So she was basically sleeping on my pay while I was paying. I complained, I got another one, and it came up to be about the same. It wasn't the right person for me, not the right personality, and that was not reliable. She would work a couple of hours a day, and when one day I said, like, okay, I have a schedule, these are the tasks that I want you to address every day, and I put like a time frame for it, she quit.
So I was getting paid $100. I didn't know this. The checks were showing up. I didn't know that was part of the deal. Every time she paid her $1,500 a month for her full-time assistant, I'm getting a check for $100. I was making $1,400 a month from the 14 virtual assistants that I set up with our agents. The money started stockpiling. I never checked my envelope, so it added up very quickly. But then I felt really guilty. As soon as I got fired, first off, you lose that $100 a month. I know you did. Well, they're horrible. And I got plenty of other people, even in this room, that did the same thing. There were no checks and balances. And that's the challenge. You're dealing with people that are 8,000 miles away. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And that's when we created Virtual Realty Assistance. So tasks VRAs can handle. Fiona? Yeah, by the way, Fiona is our girl in the Philippines who you talk to when you need help with command. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Michael. So what our VRAs can handle, first off, is real estate related tasks, email management, administrative and organizational tasks, social media marketing and management, basic website creation and management. So to dive in further, we're going to be focusing on the real estate related tasks. So our VAs can actually handle your KW command and any other CRM database. They can also do transaction coordination along with managing your DocuSign and or dot loop. They can do property research and make sure that you, as an agent, have profile on all real estate websites. They can do database building, updating contacts or CRM, verifying and setting up appointments with buyers and sellers, collect client reviews, and ask for referrals. But Melissa, what else can they do?
Thank you, Fiona. So aside from the tasks that you have mentioned, so real estate related tasks that a VA can do is update the MLS status as needed, help you with reverse prospecting and to farm an area, regularly update and maintain communication with clients, agents, title officer, lender, etc. For sold listings, they can send updates through email and social media. They can check all canceled or expired transactions and prep closing gifts for each transaction, coordinate showings, and obtain feedback. So now let's take a look at how one of our VAs, Isuda, helps her client, Tanya, with her transaction using command.
Every time we get a lead, Tanya immediately calls it and I add it on command. After Tanya calls the lead, I will add a note or an activity to the contact. And when an appointment has been set, I will also add it on the task. After that, I create an opportunity to start preparing the necessary documents. When preparing the documents for either the buyer or the seller, we'll always leave the commission part blank and it will be filled out during the listing or the buyer presentation. And once a contract has been executed, I will start drafting the CDA.
All right. So also a virtual assistant can help you manage your email. So they'll filter your emails and manage spam, create folders and organize your emails, create email templates and newsletters, greeting e-cards, event invitations, and they'll send it out, edit and create follow-up emails and autoresponders. So here's a glimpse of how I manage Michael's emails. So it's actually the first thing I do in the morning. He gets about 300 emails a day. So I delete emails that are promotional. So not important. You'll see on the left are folders. So once Michael checks them or after they responded, Michael responds to the email, I put them in folders. Also, if there's an email about asking for general inquiries like tools, this, or KPA, or about setting up an appointment with Michael, so I usually respond to emails like that, like this one, asking for her disc results. And then if it's important or if it's urgent, for example, an agent asking for Michael's advice or help with about with a transaction or their business. So I flag those emails so that Michael can take a look at them. And also if it's about a document that needed to be signed, I also flag those emails so that he can take care of it immediately. So as you can see here on the left, so that was before 264. After I go through Michael's emails, now it's down to 28.
Every day.
Isn't that fantastic?
right.
Think about that feature. It's amazing. I used to have 10,000, no, it's not a lie. I had more than 10,000 emails that I never read.
Good.
All right. So apart from email management, our VRAs will also handle administrative and organization tasks. So what they can handle is Dropbox and Google Drive organization, project and task management through Asana and or Trello, report and forms creation, data entry in Word or Google Docs, create and or manage spreadsheets, create net sheets, online research, calendar management and or appointment scheduling, manage expense tracker, or agent financial system. So here we will also have Isuda to explain further and show an example.
Hi everyone. So this is just a sample of the annual bookkeeping dashboard. You can see below are the sheets. So let's start from the setup. Here we'll be putting the monthly goals of the agent and put the income sources. And here also write down the expense categories along with it associated tax categories. And after setting this up, you can start inputting your expenses, daily expenses, and your income sources. We also have a tax tracker. This is just a summary of the expenses with the associated tax category. And we also have the recurring fees. This is just an optional sheet, but useful for tracking your subscriptions. And after that, every time we put something in the expense and income tracker, our dashboard are automatically updated. So here is the summary of all the expenses per month. And this is the summary of incomes per month. And we also have here a pie chart for the expenses to see the breakdown. And here is a bar graph for the income. The blue one is the income and the red one is the expenses. We also have here the total income, total expense, and the profit, and how long we are from getting the profit target. And now let's move on to other VRA tasks.
Let me cut in on that. So
Mm.
Asuda created that specifically for Tanya. Your VA can do so much for you. Now, Asuda will sell this to other VAs at $10 a piece, right? She put in a lot of hours. So we said, why don't you sell that? And so she will to other VAs and she'll show them how to use it. So I love the little enterprising that she did.
And that creation came out of communication. She knew what I was needing for, and she knew how to work it out. She did it perfectly.
Because Tanya, that is not your strength.
It's one of my not strength.
Yes. Okay, so research and create content for social media platforms. That's a big one. You've got to be capitalizing on your social media. Create content schedule. That's a big one. How often do you post personal? How often do you post business? That's all part of the alignment of what they do. Create, promote Facebook pages. Create, manage YouTube account. Research best YouTube searches through TubeBuddy. You want to see what the best YouTubes out there that are really looking good, go to TubeBuddy. And that's what your VA can do for you. Upload videos on YouTube. Upload videos to other video sharing sites, social media. Engage with followers on social media. Utilize Canva to create content. Manage Google My Business. You should all be using that. That's a big one. And then geotag photos daily and upload to Google My Business. They can do 5 a day. Run, manage Facebook ads, run, manage Google ads, create IG Reels, TikTok videos, answer inquiries and messages on all channels and profiles. Craig Owen has a full-time VA that just handles responses to his agents, and they think it's him in the Philippines, in San Antonio. And then edit graphics for events, occasions, etc. Here's the calendar of events. Go ahead, Asuda.
So, hi, this is just a sample template from one of our trainings with VRA. This is a social media calendar. So as you can see here, it's important to communicate with your VRA, how many posts you want to be posted in your social medias a week. So here we have at least 2 a week. So for the yellow ones, these are the real estate related posts. And the pinkish ones are the monthly awareness posts. And the green ones are the blog posts that will be posted.
So those are the blogs that she's creating.
Oh, okay. So other things that the VRA can do is design a web page, manage and update the web page, design, create a landing page, weekly, monthly Google Analytics and traffic report. I don't even know what that is. Create and maintain blog posts. I'm very honest. I have virtues somewhere, but Isuda has all of that. So this is my webpage.
As you can see here, Tanya's in the piano explaining something. So let's go over her homepage. This is a button where a lead can go to and search for their homes. And these are the services that once they click this, it will be like this. It will go to the sell page. Here is if they want to know how much their home is worth, they can just click this button here. And we also have here generic. This is just a glimpse of what we do to our clients, a listing presentation. And below that is an item of value where they can get after answering a quick lead capture form. And this is the selling process.
So
And
guys, those of you who have taken my disc class, your SCs desperately want to know process. So you need to show this to them. Houston, with all its engineers, has so many SC personality types out there. If this doesn't make sense, come to my disc class. But they want to know this. This gives them security to know the process. Go ahead, Asuda.
And at the end of the process, there is another item of value. They can request for a CMA for their property. And they also can request an appointment with Tanya. And on the buy page, they can search for their homes. And this is our buyer presentation. And below, they can schedule an appointment so we can go deeper on the details of the buyer presentation and the buying process also. And at the end of this, there's another item of value. So we keep giving them value so they can keep coming to us. And the service, we have the blog.
Now you do the blog,
So
Asuda?
we research the monthly awareness and generate the blog with ChatGPT. And after ChatGPT, we check it for plagiarism and edit it a bit and publish it on the website.
So you create through ChatGPT. How often do you create that blog?
At least once a week.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very good.
And after this, we add these blogs to our newsletter, which will be sent to our database once a month.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what I like to point out of this is that I actually had the web page before I had Isuda, and my web page looked really nice, great, but it was completely worthless. It didn't function, and I had no idea what to do with it. I told Isuda from the task that she had to handle while I was busy doing something else was my web page, and she took that's the relationship we created. She took a decision on what to do, how to do. She will discuss it with me. She will add things. So she will, every class related to the media that she takes, I see the result on my media pages and in my webpage. And she created tons of lead capturing on the webpage.
All right. Very good. Nice job, Asuda. Tanya? Oh. All right. So this is the face you make when you realize a virtual assistant is needed. We're going to get to that. Good question.
So common challenges with working with a VA: communication barriers, ensuring quality work, training, technical and internet issues.
So with those challenges, as Tanya was saying, the perception that working with VAs, especially in different locations, leads to communication challenges. At our company, we utilize the effective use of emails. When we say that, you saw all the foldering system that we have. We've got all of these processes the messaging apps like WhatsApp and Dialpad and Zoom. You pick the process that you want, the VAs will accommodate. We establish clear communication protocols and expectations from the onset. That's day one. When you get a VA, we lay out with you how you like to be communicated with. Some people, a little bit more old school, or email. The younger is WhatsApp and text. But we outline the preferred methods. Then we provide our VRAs with emergency contact information, ensuring they have a direct line of communication to reach out in case there are urgent matters.
And also they have great level of English. So that sometimes help me out with my English. Inquiring quality work. A concerned VA may not deliver the same quality of work as an in-house employee. And that is actually true. They do not do the same. They do way more because they sit at the computer for 8 hours straight. They prepare themselves. And the result I had actually a person, a physical assistant. That was my first hiring. But at the end of the day, they really know how to do it.
So what your question on the training, they're going to go through 28 days of training, but after you hire somebody, my needs are different than Emily's needs. So we meet with that VA's boss, the agent, on day 14, day 30, day 60, and day 90. So it's scheduled, and we're going to spend 15 minutes to a half hour with you to make sure that they are progressing with the things that you need. And then I always ask the question at the end, where would you like them to be by day 30? Where would you like them to be by day 60? So we can make sure they are evolving with your business and helping you grow. We utilize a time tracking app, which allows us to monitor their progress. So we can see when they're on and when they're not. We can see what screens they're on every 2 minutes. It captures it. So if you want to see what's going on, what's my VA doing is the number one question I had when I was referring everybody out to this other company. Here, we've solved that because you can see exactly what they're doing at any time. We use the DISC and the KPA assessment. We talked about the DISC. The KPA is something you all should take because it gives you a very clear-cut picture of how you compare with the top agents in the country. Well, they have a platform for also where are the best administrative assistants in the country? Where do they rank on all these categories? And that's what we look at. And we look for high matches before we take them into our company. And then our VR team offers continuous support and guidance to the VAs, helping them with other classes. We have Fiona reaches out with them every month, and they have a whole other session. Fiona, can you tell us just a minute about that?
Yes, definitely, Michael. So learning never stops with VRA. So what we also focus on is to actually have our VAs to be upskilled as much as possible. So we do also have experts. We invite expert. Let's say, for example, like for social media marketing or social media management, SEO, content writing for blogs. So we also bring them over so at least they can share their knowledge and we can apply it for every day.
Awesome. So when we talk about the DISC and the KPA, here is the DISC. We'll start with that one. If you've taken my class, you know that this is not a dominant person at all. The D naturally is the colored one. Then it goes to gray. How are they at work? How well do they adapt? The I, outgoing. So this is a more outgoing VA, and they can taper it down. They can adapt down. The S and the C is what we're looking for. SC, depending how high the S is slow and steady. Show me how to do it. Show me the process you want, and I will do it perfectly. That's my thing. I'm task-oriented. And the C is perfection. Sometimes when we have too much C, without being able to adapt down, things move slowly because they're overthinking. Think if any of you are married to an engineer, that's what that is. Right? But they can adapt down. So SC with a trailing I is ideal, but we got to go deeper than that. Are they good at the tasks that are important for an administrative assistant? So we pay extra money to make sure we are covering them at a higher level in our analysis. So this is a high match. Adaptability, the top assistants in the country within the KW system, the 14,000 assistants, measure here. This is the ones that their bosses are making over 6 figures consistently. So this person's adaptability is in range. Logical problem solving. If you've ever taken this, the KPA, you'll know what that means. They're throwing a bunch of different problems at you. How well do I solve them? How do I work through problems? Did very well. Spatial visualization, this one killed it. They take an object and they wrap it around another object, and you have to figure out what would it look like if it was reversed and backwards, and they have to do it quickly. So this person, spatial visualization, does well. And then in the other areas, the only one where they fell outside was sociability, which isn't as important of a metric as the others or a measurement. So this one is a high match. Whose is that? That's Carolyn. Whose is Carolyn's?
Carolyn
Ada's.
is, yes,
Ada.
Wang.
So Ada Wing, right? Ada, English not your first language? And so she needed somebody who could work well with her, and that's how we picked her VA. How is she doing? Yeah, and so Ada went through a fair number of VAs, not with us, before this, but we stayed on top of it, and that's why we meet with her regularly to make sure that it's progressing the right way, because we have to take care of the client.
Training. Some worry about the time and effort required to train a VA. VA in general, they're not specific to real estate. So when you hire just a VA, you hire somebody who needs all the training and need to understand the whole process of real estate.
And so what we talked about, we have a comprehensive 4-week training. Command is a big piece of that. And now you see, you don't have to be an expert at Command. You see what the VA can do for you. Command does a lot of stuff, but it still is a process to get through it. It's not the most user-friendly program. It's getting better, but in the interim, it's great to have somebody who is a pro at it that can get all your plans loaded up and get you leads coming in, then you can go work them. Additionally, we offer regular classes to upskill. You saw with the ChatGPT what Assitance is doing for Tanya, taking care of her blog every week. So powerful stuff.
Technical and internet issues, hardware malfunctioning, and internet connectivity issue, which can disrupt communication and workflow. Oh my goodness, I was able to read that. I'm so proud of myself. But yes, technical issue can be because long distance, basically you rely on internet to communicate with that person.
So we do conduct checks, and we require that the VA has 2 systems for internet. They do have typhoons in the Philippines. So Melissa, how long have you worked for me?
I have been your assistant for 2 years.
And even with the typhoons that happened in those 3 years, how many times have you been unable to come to work?
I think I can't remember a day where I have to take a leave because of an internet issue. I do have backup internet and backup hardware. If ever I need to log off for a few hours, I will let you know.
Can
So,
I say something
yeah,
about that?
I remember your other VA.
Yes, so that is not an issue with the VRA. I never had a single time that Isuda said the internet wasn't working. Maybe it could not work for 5 minutes and she was immediately back to it. With my previous VA, though, I had to recognize there were like at least 1 or 2 like very many times. I had at least once a week issues with the internet because they were not prepared as this way.
Yeah, they don't even get through the front door if they do not have a backup system, and their system has to operate at a very high level. And my girls check that before they move forward with them. So best practices when working with the VA, and this is important because some people, not in this room, but we've had people have them and it's not a hit right away. And here's the reason why. First, you got to define your needs and objectives. So you may not know what your needs are. You could be a new agent that is now getting busy and you're like, okay, I can do this, I can afford this. You have to identify the tasks and projects that you need help with. Maybe we inspired you today with some of the things that you saw that they're doing. Emily, I don't know if Jonathan is doing everything that we've got laid out, And that's, that very well could be because they haven't seen that. You haven't seen that need. Prioritize the tasks based on their importance and urgency. If you're doing farming is something where you want to have that happen on the first of the month. They're finding out all the pendings, listings, solds, expireds in that neighborhood that you want to farm, and they send out the neighborhood report card to everybody in that farm. Well, they don't have to do a whole lot more on farming until next month, but you have other priorities. So you want to make sure you consider the long-term goals. These goals will help you determine the type of support you need and the skills required to achieve your objectives. If your objective is, I want to get to 3 closings a month, I'm at 2 closings a month, I want to get to 3 closings a month, what is missing that the presence of would make a difference for me to get 36 transactions in a year? And then assess your strengths and weaknesses. You saw in that KPA, we saw the strengths and weaknesses of that VA. We do an assessment like that on you as an agent. Those graphs should look very different, and then we can match up the right person with you. So that's important that you do that assessment. Now, if we were to take a look in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which, gosh, we want you guys to read that book so badly. We don't talk about it enough. It's red, like the color red, not you read it. If you are do you have a pointer? Okay. Here's a pointer, which I don't know what I'm doing with it. Okay. Where it says agent. For many of you, that's you. That's all. You don't have the rest of the support staff. You can do, according to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, about 3 transactions a month before you're getting too swamped. That's 36 transactions. Me personally, I wouldn't want to do 3 transactions a month back when I was an agent without some sort of support. I'm like that. I need to be coddled. So you get your A1, that's your assistant. That should be your first hire. Your first hire should never be a buyer's agent. That's going to fall apart. But if you go with an A1, an assistant, doesn't matter if they're in person or in the Philippines, now that person should be able to add another 24 transactions a month, a year. But here's how. They're helping you with your buyer system, your seller system, and your lead gen system. It's all about using systems. You're the face of your company. You're going out and meeting with the people. You need someone else to take care of the back end. It's tough to be great at both. So that helps you get about another 24 transactions if you're doing it right. The next hire, if you race off and get a buyer's agent, here's the problem. That buyer's agent should be able to get about another 3 transactions a month if they're doing a great job. Your assistant quits on you if you run and hire this. Your second hire in real estate, even according to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, where everyone who contributed to that book makes at least $1 million a year after taxes, says clearly, hire a second assistant. And that person's going to do your social media, your advertising, branding you. So once you have these 2, then you go off and get this person. And we'll do the KPA to find this person for you too. We want to help you build through the systems and models that plenty of agents in this office are doing. And then you get a showing agent to support this person. This person's goal is to eventually become a buyer's agent. This person typically is making about 40 to 50%, but they're being fed leads. This person is more of a showing agent and would love to become a buyer's agent. So agent A1 is your goal. That's what we put in place here for you.
By the way, we do have a showing agent program as well.
We do.
Best practice when working with a VA. Discuss communication preferences. Effective communication is key to successful work relationship, especially when working with someone remotely. So my specific way of communication with Isuda is WhatsApp. I am a text person. Do not ask me to check emails. I do not like emails. So what we do, Isuda is in charge 100% of the emails. And every time there is something important, she will text me and let me know what I have to pay attention to. Discuss the frequency of communication. So every morning we decided with Isuda, we reach out to each other, we discuss what's gonna go through the day. Make sure you're both on the same page about how quickly you expect to receive responses to emails, messages, and other form of communications. One thing that Isuda does very, very well is every time we have an inquiry or some lead, she immediately makes sure I know, and she will text me, she will call me on WhatsApp, but she will make me know that is now and it's time to call. Set expectation for availability. She always surprised me because usually she set a time and she's always better than what she says. Choose a communication platform. Our communication platform, our favorite one, is WhatsApp, but she's constantly on Zoom. So if I need to face her and ask her directly, I will jump on Zoom and she's going to be there.
Okay, continued with best practices, provide clear and specific instructions assigning tasks. You saw the high S of that disc we looked at. High S, they want to know the expectation. This is, and agents are horrible at this, by the way, but in general, we're horrible explaining, we just want it done. If you say, this is when I need it, this is what it should look like, that's great. If you can't get to that level because that's not your communication style, then you need to stay on top of it with them. You get the first product back. Okay, well, I was really looking for it to look more like this. Now you've explained that it's going to be this the next time, and then you'll tighten it up even more. If you're great at articulating your position, you get there a lot faster. Establish deadlines. I need it by this date. Provide feedback. On a high S specifically, this looks really good. I would love it to look like this a little bit more, maybe whatever specifics you want. You've got to give them that feedback and set regular check-in meetings. This could be daily, weekly, or bi-weekly, depending on the workload. For a VA, it's going to be, for instance, on a transaction. They were handling the transaction coordination. You could say, I really like at this stage of the coordination to do X. I know in the past you might have done this for someone else, but this is how I like it. And you let them know that. And then address any issues promptly to avoid further complications. That's an agent, that's a situation where agents have a hole, and we're focused on helping them with that.
Can I say something about that? One thing that with Isuda we do every day is also a end of the day email. She will resume everything she did to me, and we established in the beginning that I wanted her to let me know. I will write to her, answer to her what I like the most about our relationship, how we handle each other, and what could need more improvement. And she will be honest, and I beg her to be honest and let me know how I could improve and what she appreciated of what I was doing. I think that was a key point for us to create a very healthy relationship and communication-wise. Best practice when working with a VA, recognize their winnings. Recognition is one of the most powerful motivators in the workplace, and it's even more important for those who work remotely. So one thing that I had very clear since the beginning, I don't see Isuda as an employee. I see her as a partner. We work together. She really fights for me and make everything possible to make me look better in front of my clients. And I love to recognize her. We keep sending each other hearts and thank you. And this is amazing. And it's one of the nicest part of the day. I honestly look forward to text her and see her morning text and every time we communicate.
And this is the boss appreciating me for doing work from home, even on a Sunday, and it's me who didn't even know it was Sunday. So let's hear from some of the people that have one of our VAs right now. Lisa's our rookie of the year from 5 years ago. She's at a little
Now,
over
Lisa,
12 million.
tell me, how has
Tristan helped you with your business?
So one of my goals is to have a little bit more of me time, making sure that my health is in good shape. Tristan has taken such a huge load off of me in the last 30 days. I do a lot of buyers. We work as a team and my clients know it. They appreciate it. He's very dedicated, fast response to buyers is amazing. They love it. So he's giving me my life back. So I'm not working 16 hours a day, and able to have some of my personal time back in the mornings while he helps me schedule out my day.
How is Gabe, your VA, doing for you?
Yeah, he has been great. And one thing I have really loved about having him is my assistants in the past felt like they would step on my toes about certain things and they just kind of let me do my own thing. But I really love his level of accountability, and he's not afraid to be like, hey, this was your task, why haven't you done it? How can I help you with that? There's just a little bit more proactivity with him. Because he's just he's on all the details for me. I tell him something one time and he's remembering to follow through on it, which I really need.
So we're here with Mike Schultz. He's a $38 million producer over at KW Heritage, the largest Keller Williams in the world. And Michael has been using one of our virtual assistants. Michael, how is she doing for you?
She's been great. I don't know how I got to this point without her. I have a feeling that the last year's production is going to be small compared to the production going forward. We already have doubled our monthly production in the last 2 weeks of her being here, just from having the extra free time to get out and write those contracts, show those houses, list those properties. And I can't imagine a place where I didn't have a virtual assistant.
I really do appreciate that, Michael. Michael, thank you so much. All right. So we do more than just have a company. When you choose VRA for your virtual assistants, we want you to have exceptional service, but we give a percentage of our profits directly to Gawad Kalinga, and they help build sustainable communities. This is in the Philippines. I asked everybody who works for me is in the Philippines. They seem to work best with people in the Philippines. So I said, what's the best cause? And they said, this is the one. They build homes and they build schools for people. So every time you pay your VRA, that's where a piece of the money is going. And so we gave them a nice check at the end of the year. It was really beautiful. So if you're ready to hire a VA, or when you are, well, that QR code may not be there, but Gary Keller is. I kind of cheated because Gary Keller owns a VA company called Cyberbacker. Our company is much better, and we pay exactly twice the money that Gary Keller pays to their VAs. So that'll always be there. I took that picture while I was at corporate. If he knew I was doing this, it would be hell. Please don't send that to him. But if you wanted to see the VAs that we have available, you would just click on this. Can you show us real quick?
Yes. So if you scan the QR code, it will take you to our information hub, and you can schedule a consultation with Michael here. You can see the list of tasks that the VAs can do, frequently asked questions, or you can visit our website. So to view or to see the VAs, available VAs we have, so click Meet Our VAs.
Let me preface this before you show this person. She's 23. Just let me say that.
Yes. So
we don't hire anyone under 22 because we feel their maturity isn't there yet in the workforce. So we actually miss out on a lot of VAs, people getting out of high school. We want them to have the maturity. But when you see this girl, my wife's like, really?
Yes, that's correct. So here you'll be able to see their introduction video, the resume, disc, and KPA, and we have a new group coming in this May. So let's take a look at one.
course, it wouldn't work now. Well, she loves being a VA with us. I promise you that. But you guys can always go in and take a look at these videos to see, hey, this one is kind of fun. Your VA had a great video. It was, you remember what was so popular? The Addams Family. Hers did a whole scene with the hand. So here we can see how she figures. Let's go down. So strong on the, go back, please. Go back. Thank you. Strong on the S, strong on the C, a little bit more I. So more personality. Now with that comes, hey, we need you to be tight on doing things dead on. Don't skip any steps. But you can see she can adapt down on the I. The I is all about personality. Okay, go ahead.
See if it's working now. Oh,
And it's probably on our side. Oh, well, you guys can always see it. So when you're ready, it's there for you, $1,500 a month for full time. That's 8:30 to 5:30, but you can set the time. You just have to be in agreement with your VA. Part-time is 800 and it's 4 hours a day. And so when they're 4 hours a day, then we put, they're available to work for somebody else the other 4 hours a day. Any questions? I know, Michael, you were going to ask something in the back or say something and I cut you off.
What I was going to say is I've used Easy TC and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They have a phone number and when you call them, they'll never answer it, but within 10 minutes, they'll call you back. And the guy that I've been working with over there, he said, I need 3 things from you. We have a closing on Friday. I need 3 things from you. And he goes, and I'm going to take care of your commission disbursement. They do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fantastic. I get all my paperwork and I send it to them. And if they need something, they're going to let me know. I think it's great.
So they're the ones who train our VAs on the transaction support. We built them up. They didn't know how to do a transaction. We built them up, taught them how to do it. Now they've been doing it for years because I started that company in 2021. And so they're the ones who now give back by training the VAs. You guys will hire one day. Yes. Yeah, I do have other real estate agents at other companies using it as well.
Okay, so does that mean there's enough of these VAs to go around? I mean, do they have
There,
enough?
well, I have 5 that you saw there that are going to be coming off. They're doing a project transferring a title company over. So they're on a huge project. They'll be done by May 1st was my commitment. So I'll have those 5 plus a few more. They do go quickly because we only allow a couple to come in at a time. We used to take 10 and it was great, but we had some attrition and we look for people that are great. We only look for great. So it's tough to find. You're right.
And so if you pick one VA and it doesn't work out,
Then we'll have another one at some point. Like we had somebody who worked for an agent here, and they decided at some point, now I have the kids, now I can't work this night shift because right now it's 1:30 in the morning for the Philippines. So it was sad to lose this particular person, and our person is waiting for the right fit for the next one. Right. So-
Can I say something about that? The difference between VA general and BRA is like Walmart and Whole Foods.
Except for we're not expensive like Whole Foods. Yeah, Jim. Well, they cannot make you, they can talk to your clients all day long and they do. They can't make you coffee. They can set your stuff up to go to the printer, right? But they're not going to take it off the printer. They can do everything. Melissa is amazing for me. Asuda is amazing for Tanya. You get the right one and you cultivate them and you treat them with respect. That's their thing, right? Their biggest fear of a high S, right? Most are high. Melissa, what's your S?
99.
99 out of 100. She wants to know, what is the expectation? What is the expectation? And they want to feel security. right? She's got two beautiful daughters, a husband, and they want to be able on the weekend to unload, right? That's how I want her to enjoy that. Occasionally, once every 3 weeks, she'll say, hey, can I log out an hour early? I want to go running, right? She has to decompress. Imagine working with me. You need to decompress. And she does. And I love that. So the relationship I have with her is better than any relationship I've ever had with an assistant.
Can I say something? Jay actually was asking, just to clarify, for clarification. So when you have a part-time VA, it can be the morning or the afternoon, you decide, I mean, that's on the relationship that you establish with them. But when you have a full-time VA, one VA have only one full-time. There is not gonna have a double full-time or full-time and part-time. They need to leave too and sleep.
Any other questions, guys? So I have one calling unexpireds and FSBOs right now. Like I hired one to do that in the market center. That's what they do. It's not the skill set of many of them. So we want to make sure we hire right. An SC, that is not their skill set typically. Just they got to have that eye and some dominance to be able to weather the beating they take. Right.
If I can say one big advantage, for example, you teach your VA how to select for sale by owners contact information. All the prospect that you want to do, if you have the system, she is the one who will send me in the morning. These are the people you have to call. That's a big chunk of, and she will help me out, and like she knows what kind of script I like, and she will suggest a script or a couple of scripts. So I have that already ready to go.
So that's you making the call. Let's make sure we set the stage.
I make
Yeah.
calls, but she prepared the list of prospects. She select a couple of options sometimes. And what we do many times, I have her on Zoom. So when I'm talking to the prospect and say like, of course, I can send you the CMA about this property, blah, blah, blah. She's immediately working the CMA and I collect the email address and she is immediate. So all of that.
So I have one person, Rail. I'm going to use him for another company I'm starting. If that doesn't work out, I have a person who's great at calling FSBOs and expireds. But that's like his core focus. Let me get this one. Jay?
Contract term or month to month? How does that?
It's a contract that you have. If it's full-time, it's a year contract. And it's once you go past that, it's a month to month.
Unless you can sign.
1 year.
Unless you can sign again.
Well, you can always sign for the whole, we'll gladly have you sign for the whole year. But we want to make sure that it fits within your business. I created this not as a profit center. I created this to make something better for our agents. I wanted the best virtual assistant company in the country. We had another question.
Create a relationship. You want to sign for the next year. You want to make sure nobody steals it from you.
Yeah, you started off part-time and you were afraid because somebody else wanted the other half and you're like, no, I'm going to go full-time. And that's what you did. And it turned out to be great. If you saw what this what Asuda knitted for you or crocheted for her, Tanya's going to be a grandmother and pretty soon here. And so it's for Tanya. What kind of outfit was that?
It's a something that you wear on the beach in top of the swimming suit.
And one for the
But
baby
it's
too.
a beautiful dress. It is so gorgeous. I haven't been at the beach yet. And it matches with my little bear. And it's like a hoodie with the bear ears. It's the cutest thing ever. I'm going to post it, like follow me in my social media. You're going to see it soon.
All right, guys. Any other questions?
I just want to confirm exactly what you're saying. Excuse me, I had Jonathan and I thought, okay, Jonathan ended up, he was amazing. Number one, we forgot to mention how polite and respectful these VAs
It's a different culture, isn't it?
It's a different culture. I mean, if I was not happy with something, poor Jonathan, he would be apologizing and how can I make it better? And I mean, it's just like completely different world. Jonathan ended up graduating from college and he ended up having this job plus 2 others. So it was time for him to move on. And I thought, oh, great. This is wonderful. I don't need to pay. I can do this by myself. Actually, I was going to come to your office today to tell you I need a VA. So honestly, you only appreciate them when you lose them or
Yeah.
when you don't have them. I thought, "Oh, he's not getting his money, the money's worth. He's, I don't need him." But
And these are highly educated
Yes,
people.
it's the
Melissa,
new-
what's
the
your,
new-
Melissa, what's your major?
Math. Yes,
Mathematics.
math and then engineering,
A
mechanical
nurse in
engineering.
the Philippines makes $400 a month. A nurse, and you got a lot of nurses here in the US that are from the Philippines. So we pay much higher than what they're making as a nurse. And so we pay very competitive. We pay twice as much as what Keller Williams with their virtual assistant company pays. So now we're starting to recruit their VAs once they come off of contract. So, all right, guys, we don't want to hold you guys up. I'm sure there's plenty more food. Please take advantage of that. Take some home if you want. But we appreciate you guys for coming in. We're here as a resource. And if you ever need to, you can always scan Gary Keller's chest.
Can Gary Keller get your VRA as soon as possible? Don't let those phone calls distract you from what's really important. Phone calls about VAs. I receive everything.
My ladies in the Philippines, thank you so much for everything you do for me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Suda. Love you.
Thank you.